Hi, we're here with Caitlin Snow. She's one of our athletes with QT2 Systems. I'm Jesse Kropelnicki, the founder and owner of QT2. And we just wanted to chat with Caitlin and hear about our history a little bit and lead up to the race on Saturday.
Got into triathlon actually as I was going into high school. I was about 13, just started doing some youth races, little sprints, kind of did those every weekend just for fun. And basically swim team was the training, and rode my bike to swim team practice and ran around the neighborhood. That was pretty much the extent of the training. And then once I got into college, I started getting a little bit more serious, started doing some ITU racing, some of the short course stuff, and then actually ended up tearing my ACL in 2006, so I had to take that season off. That's when I started working, kind of training with Jesse and also my husband, who's been doing Ironman for quite a while now. Just doing, their long rides, their long runs, that kind of thing, and we decided, in 2007, why not try Ironman? I'm doing the volume already, so I gave it a go. It was kind of just a wing it kind of race, and then
I think when I first met you, you were actually lying on the ground on one of those machines trying to work your knee.
Yes, I was. Yeah, I had one of the passive, the passive motion.
I think that was
machines.
one of the first times I met you, actually.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, like for real, other than just seeing you around the local racing, doing one in the Boston.
Yeah, doing the PT the way it was supposed to be done, and it took almost it would take 7 or 8 months to be able to walk without a limp, really, and then we got into being able to do some of the longer training, and we talked about me doing Lake Placid as a potential race. And it was fun. I had a blast. It was, first marathon too, so it was interesting. And then we decided to get a little bit more serious in 2008, really work on body composition, one of the big things. And that's when Jesse and I really started to work together. One of the biggest things that we've worked on is body composition, and that has been my biggest challenge. I'm definitely a food lover. I love watching the Food Network. I love talking about food. I love thinking about food. When I was younger, I was a little on the chubbier side, and I was never heavy. I wouldn't say I was heavy, but when it comes to Ironman, when it comes to the longer distance, when you're really trying to, tweak every little thing, body composition becomes that much more important, especially.
I think at that level, in particular, it really does.
Mm-hmm. That's something that we've worked on. Since 2007, really, just found that's made a huge difference.
One of the other major things that we worked on was just sort of quantifying a lot of the training that you were doing.
Absolutely.
Before you were a little bit more willy-nilly, I think, when I first met you, just going out for training sessions versus having quantifiable, trackable things to track and training and milestones along the way. And we've also done quite a bit with sport mechanics. I think we've done, definitely done a ton of underwater video work.
Working on the swim
mechanics quite a bit.
Which is, it's kind of a big thing. I mean, I've been, like I said earlier, I've been swimming since I was 8, so to be able to see improvements in the water at this point where it's 20 years later is, to me anyways, pretty amazing. So it's, it's one of those things, and it's only, a couple minutes, but in the swim,
it all counts here,
exactly. So,
and then I think run mechanics initially. I think we actually did run mechanics before we did swim mechanics. I worked on that quite a bit.
Exactly, and then also the bike fit, bike position, things like that, working on all that.
All the details, trying not to leave many things unturned.
Right, constantly looking at what's to be
This race tends to exploit things that
yes, it does.
that you miss. So, spend sleepless nights thinking about these things, trying to make sure we covered everything. So.
So I am also a coach with QT2, and I work with probably 7 or 8 athletes right now on a full-time basis. Benefiting so much from Jesse made me want to help other athletes kind of in the same way. So, and we're constantly improving things, constantly adding things to the program, adjusting things, learning from our own races.
We really work as a team.
Absolutely.
And I think that's somewhat rare. I think you see a lot of coaching groups out there who maybe work under the same name, but they all sort of do their own thing. We are really unified in the toolkit that we use. We all basically use the same toolkit at the end of the day.
There's a lot of communication, a lot of open communication there between the coaches, and I think that makes the biggest difference with our athletes.
Last year I came out, I didn't race last year. I was going to race Cozumel in the fall. I came out to just coach the athletes we had racing. I think I personally had maybe 9 or 10 athletes racing. So I came out just to coach. So with that, I was still trying to train quite a bit. So coming from the East Coast in Boston, I came out and I had quite a bit of sleep deprivation, and I was doing workouts at absurd hours. I think I got up to go for a swim at 3 in the morning one morning. So I went out to the bay and I went to swim at night, and I swam right into a sea turtle. Scared the living heck out of me. But that was one of the most memorable thoughts I have at the island, really. And it doesn't necessarily have much to do with the race, but it was interesting for sure.
It's such a different place here. The atmosphere is so different. It's hard to kind of pick one. And I guess I'm going to have to go with the cliche one that, you know, just coming down Palani that first time in 2008, I'm kind of getting chills just thinking about it. You come down Palani and the crowd's starting to pick up a bit more after coming off the Queen K, where it's a little bit quieter. You know you're so close to the finish line. You can feel it. You can hear the people going nuts. You hear the announcers. You hear Mike out there yelling, "You are an Ironman," and coming around the block and people are screaming, and it just, I could see my family. They were down on the corner, and you just come down and people are just out of their mind excited. It's always been a dream to come here and to cross that line that first year was something. I'll never forget that feeling. It's like I get the feeling just thinking about it.